So, but we start now with Stefan Lemper and his presentation on US Now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, thanks for being here and welcome to Scout 24. In particular, welcome on behalf of US Now, the new incubator I will introduce to you. But before I will start, I would like to show you a video to show you what kind of philosophy we have with the US Now incubator here in Munich.
Stay hungry, stay foolish.
Ja.
Schon die erste Frage. Das Video irgendwie gibt es auf YouTube, oder?
Leider nicht. Ihr könnt heulen, aber jetzt arbeitet man in einer größeren Einheit, ja, da ist man mit Recht ein bisschen vorsichtiger. Und als Startup hätte ich es wahrscheinlich einfach live gestellt.
Du hast ein Video davon.
Ja, also das sollte mal so ein bisschen verdeutlichen, worauf es ankommt, was wichtig ist, ein paar inspirierende Worte. Oh, I should switch to English, I'm sorry. Some inspiring words on how to deal with startups and the challenges of startups. Yeah, as I said, we in Munich, we have a new incubator in town by Scout 24, and it's called US Now. I will tell you a little bit about US Now. US Now is already for almost 1.5 years in Berlin. It was initiated by Immobilien Scout, and it's a very successful concept of combining startups and bringing in the expertise of a real great and old already internet player. And due to the success, we said we want to have that in Munich as well. Because in Berlin we have a lot of them already, but in Munich we see a great chance, and of course Scout 24 is headquartered here in Munich. So what are we doing and why are we doing that? Of course we are looking for new innovation, new fresh ideas which we can help to grow and support. And these ideas can come from inside. We ask our employees to pitch their ideas, help them to realize them. And of course, we're looking for ideas from you guys, from outside, and we want to help you. And how we do that? First thing is, we give you funding. In any case, up to 500,000 euro will be a cash funding. And then, more important is what we place on top, because good concepts get good money, and good concepts also get a working space. So, what's the important issue? We supply you and get access to resources of what makes Scout for 12 years already very successful. It's about marketing, it's about scaling. Because many founders have a great expertise in developing products and new ideas, but quite often they have a lack of funding, experience, or access to all these issues regarding the marketing. And that's where we step in. First thing, we know our markets. Of course, if you're in the sector of autos, we can surely help you a lot because we know the market and we can give you a quick start in terms of traffic because we already have the traffic, which we can provide to related companies. But to let you know, we're not just focusing on auto or finance or dating where we are active at the moment. We're looking for general great new online ideas, no matter if the Scout24 group is already on that market or not. Okay, besides market expertise, we thought, how can we help a startup which has a product already best? And therefore, we designed several, we call it Kickstarter packages, in order to market and scale fast. First thing is SEO. It's a common problem of most startups, which I know because I've been working in startups as well. And you start with something that's not ideal for SEO purposes. And we have the experts right here in the house, and they come to you, they give you consultancy on how to do it right from the very start. They help you in terms of tracking, they help you getting backlinks, they help you to choose technologies to track, to optimize, and they even implement it with you. Second thing, online marketing, probably even more important. Same thing. Our expert come to you and say, okay, what's the budget? What channels should we try? What could be a testing scenario in order to find out what way is the best for you, individual business, to scale. And on the very low level, they even tell you, okay, you need this kind of banners, this formats, and here's a designer who will make it for you. So, great value. And we even have a department which is doing the campaign management for the startups, and of course, over the time, do the know-how transfer, so you know at the end of the day how to do it by yourself. Then we have a mentoring program. What does that mean? You have like a guy who's perfect fit for you in terms of functional expertise or market expertise, and he's a kind of a navigator for you within the Scout24 group. For instance, you might be programming, having a problem with PHP, and he tells you, well, talk to Joe in the office next door. He probably knows how to solve your problem because they know the company. And on top, we will provide a media package so we can do all these testing with within our network. Of course, we have a partner network, and we also supply you with a certain amount of development and design resources if you do not bring them with your team. So that's a broad overview on what we do. I personally think we have a really great and unique offer, and I'm really happy if maybe some of you might be interested in our program, has a nice idea, or I'm also happy if you share our concept with friends who might be looking for something like that. And yeah, and I'm looking forward now for the evening for the Lean Startup Concept. And talking about the Lean Startup Concept, there's another event next Monday, which we host here as well. As you know, the original Lean Startup Conference is taking place next Monday. And we are the exclusive partner for Munich to do a live stream of the conference right here. And I invite all of you to join for the live conference, for networking, and we also have pizza and beer. So thank you very much, and hoping to see you next Monday. Thanks.
I guess you're available for a few questions, right?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Do you have something like a standard package, like, I don't know, I think it's Hack Forward, saying you get 100,000 euro and you give us 10% for that? Or is the financing always individual?
Well, if you're fine with the fact that one person who has just the idea is treated the same like a team of 3 who's been working on weekends for a month and has a prototype, we might be able to offer you a package, but I think it's not fair. So the question is no, we don't have a general package, we do it individually.
This €500,000 is a contest, like a contest, or it's just?
No, it's a case by case. If you have an idea and you're interested in us as a partner, you can just address me, talk to me, send me material, and then we analyze if it's a good fit for us. And in that case, we decide together how much money you need, how the deal is structured, and then we go ahead.
What's your side of the deal?
Of course, we will take shares. Probably, yeah, we will take shares.
And is it typical that you would also help set up the company, or do you expect that people would already have made the official entity before they talk?
No, we also help with the company, so that's very important. We even start with somebody who has a great idea, and we help to build everything around. Of course, I'm always happy if you have some prototype running and first experience, but that's actually what most VCs ask you for, and that's always the problem. So, if you're early, feel free to talk to us.
What kind of basics do you need to decide if you fund the project or not?
It depends. I mean, the earlier you are, the less material you have. But what I asked you for is a business plan where you detail what is your idea, what's the customer value you do, why should they choose your product, what's the market scale, the competition, and what's your business model?
I have two questions. You said you're already running that type of system in Berlin for quite a while. How many, considering 100% applications you had so far, how many of them did you actually fund? How many of them were actually successful after the first year and maybe after this third year? I don't know how long you're running it so far. And how many shares did you take on average?
Okay. Several questions. Good questions. The answer is I cannot tell you actually, because no. As a matter of fact, Berlin has a different scope. They were focusing solely on real estate topics. So the market is quite narrow, and so it's not very representative on that model. Here with Munich, as I said, we have a broader scope, and therefore the experience back then doesn't really fit to what we're planning to do. But from my VC experience, I can tell you the average deal on an early stage VC was around 1%. And then you do your investments, and from these startups, a big amount are not getting really successful.
What do you mean with 1%? Like 100 people apply and you take 1%?
Yeah.
Okay, from this 1%?
Even less actually, it's 0.3%.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 300 people apply and you take one. Roughly.
Yeah. But I guess the quality of applications is something to consider.
Obviously as well, but
yeah.
Okay.
And then you have to consider that out of 10 companies, maybe 1, maybe 2 are really successful.
Right.
So don't look for the Instagrams and the Facebooks in the world, because they're so unique.
Well, you should look for them, but you might not find it.
Do you have a bias towards teams, or do you accept single founders as well?
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Do you have a bias towards teams, or do you accept single founders as well?
We accept single founders as well.
Mm-hmm.
Just maybe for numbers, I know that there were like 1,000 something applications for Vira in London, and they took 17 teams.
And 360 for Vira in Munich.
Yeah, and they took 7, 8, 9. 10. I didn't think did they fill all 10?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
That's a high percentage though, compared to classical VCs.
My question would be, do you, like, for how long will they get the co-working? Is that like a limited thing, 6 months, and then you have to be on your own, or is that
we're looking up to 12 months, because we think 3 or 6 months is a bit too short. You just settle down and put in your desk, and then you have to leave again. That doesn't really make sense.
And how many how many shares do you usually take? Do you take it in percent, or how does it work?
As I said, it depends on the case. how many we take.
Yeah, but so depending on all the cases you had so far, how many
We just start.
Okay, but
So we start in September, basically. So it's really new now.
So, but is it just roughly? Is it like 1% or is it 50% or 80%? Just to get an idea.
As I said, it really depends on the single case. But maybe one very important issue. The reason why we do that is we're looking for great entrepreneurs. Because if we had all these great entrepreneurs in our company, we do everything ourselves. So we don't do, and that's why we look for you. And to have a great entrepreneur in place, you need to have a good incentive system. So it doesn't make sense to look for good people and tell them, hey, you just get 1%. It's not going to work. So we need to find a good balance where both parties are happy with and like to go ahead.
You're going to say it's going to depend. Well, I'm going to ask you that. What is your strategy in general? Are you more preferring sticking to a company for 5 years, building up, making it fully scalable on European level, or do you prefer to enter 2 years out, sell it to someone else?
Now, since we're a strategic investor, more or less, of course we're looking for topics which might fit in our existing marketplaces. Case one. Case two is which might be a marketplace, a new scout of itself in the future. So we have a friend scout, we have an auto scout, maybe there's going to be a game scout, a food scout, a health scout, whatever. So we're looking for companies who have the potential to become the next scout vertical.
Further questions?
The companies we're looking for do not have to relate to one of the markets we're already in. So if you do something else, like games, we're happy to take a look at this. It must be online though, and probably like an inventory-based e-commerce concept might not be the right fit for us. But besides that, it's a case-by-case thing in terms of the product, the innovation, and most important, the team. Shall I go?
Last month, we learned how really cool AutoScout is internally working with the Lean Startup to do business development. Isn't there a certain risk for me if I have a great idea, for example, in the dating area, to send you my concept because you may try it with your really cool internal Lean Startup toolset?
Well, as I said before, if we could do everything by ourselves, we probably would do it, but we do not have the resources. And even if we have an employee as possible resource, the employee is not an entrepreneur. And usually that really doesn't work that well. I mean, take a look at great big companies who try to invent an online business. Usually they failed. And later they bought startups. But of course, we are happy to sign any NDA.
Yeah, maybe to work in your defense, I'm one of the co-founders and co-organizers of the Munich Startup Accelerator. And we've been working with incubators and we're working with Vira and others. And one thing where, in our experience, it's not a risk that the incubator is going to take away the idea. Because for one, like you said, you're doing this, you're giving something. Of course you want some return, but taking away the idea is not the point. And you have a name to lose. If you're setting up an incubator and it just runs one cycle and everybody knows you busted it, the entire company is going to suffer. So in our experience, usually those offers usually they work, they're fair, and they give great potential to those startups that get selected. Because they really give you productivity boost and infrastructure, and especially what we learned and found out is just the amount of network you get and access to people, which you otherwise really have to run for and do a lot of cold calls is really excellent. So.
Yeah, thanks. No more else to add. Okay, so thanks a lot.
Fine, thanks
So,
very
thank you very much.